What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Apollo, and I'm back, and I am here with more information on the Inustice 2 comic. And yes, just like before, there are spoilers, so if you plan on reading it yourself or don't want the storyline spoiled for you, then go ahead and exit the video. Though this does not spoil anything, well, not much, for the actual Inustice 2 game plot itself, because this is a prequel, not the actual plot for the game. And if you haven't read the title, which would be surprising if you hadn't, then you already know this video is basically about me speaking on the false Batman that's running around the Inustice 2 universe right now and who he may be. And I'm gonna start that off with the first 4 assumptions we need to throw out of the window. The first 4 being the most obvious 4, but actually aren't true. Let me start with the number 1, Dick Grayson. See, Dick Grayson has taken the mantle of Batman before, when Batman supposedly, quote unquote, died. So the Dick Grayson of this universe is actually dead. He died before the first Inustice game took place in the prequel comics back then. And he appeared as, I believe, Deadman again. So we can already throw him out of the window because we already know what his current status is within the Inustice universe. And things haven't changed for Jason Todd thus far. As far as we know, Jason Todd himself is still dead and hasn't reappeared yet. There's no signs of the actual Red Hood being about, and even Damian Wayne himself and Superman both comment on Jason being dead. So as far as we know, in the Inustice 2 universe, Jason is still dead and hasn't reappeared yet. Now we can move on to Tim Drake. I believe Tim Drake is still Red Robin in this universe, though he's trapped in the Phantom Zone with the rest of the Teen Titans. As far as things go, there's no evidence or sign that any of the Teen Titans have been released from the Phantom Zone just yet, though I believe he's still there, because I believe Kid Flash and Beast Boy died before Superboy, Starfire, and Red Robin were trapped in the Phantom Zone by Superman, basically. So no telling if he's returned, though if he did return, I doubt he would return in the manner they show him. I don't think he'd be like this Batman. This Batman is very, very different from the regular Batman. And then number four, the most simple one, is not Damian Wayne, because he's still in prison. They showed him locked up in the first comic. He's still in prison. He was mean mugging the camera. There's no other explanation for that. I believe he escapes or is eventually released, because he reappears in the game again with his katana doing everything, but he reappears as a Robin, not Batman. And this Batman, his actions are the most similar to what Damian Wayne is more capable of or most likely to do, though I doubt it's him, especially going off of the physicality and height this Batman has. And not only that, he does something that's out of character for even Damian Wayne. But let's go into his character, the sort of things that we see him do as far as the comic goes. Basically, he pulled up once Harley got caught, pulled out 2 Dracos, got the blasting, pieced up some other people, blew some heads off, and walked casually through a gunfight to his helicopter, before actually beating up the real Batman. That's the biggest evidence that it's not the actual Batman, because we see him walk up and beat the shit out of the real Batman, which is a rare sight to see. And then not only that, even his speech and dialogue does not represent that of Batman or many of the Robins. The biggest example being, number 1, he called the Batman Mr. Wayne. The rest would have referred to him as Bruce. So I'm confident that it's not any of the Robins going off of that simple patch of dialogue. And not only that, he seems to have some sort of red lightning-like kinetic energy radiating off of him, especially when he moves or is attacking someone. And the person who also has that is Reverse Flash. And we also know that he's in the storyline too. So could it be Reverse Flash playing the role of Superman? Because there's some scenes, not Superman, Batman, but there's some scenes where you see Reverse Flash. Wait, not Reverse Flash. Wait, what? What's wrong with my brain today? I ain't recording this over again. One take. But there's scenes where you see basically Batman moving in a manner that's you would seem faster than usual. There's a hard way to predict how fast someone is in a comic book without having to see actual video of their actual movement. But you see, when he dodges Killer Croc's attempt to attack him from behind, that movement speed that they display gives you the impression that he's moving really fast. So I believe this actually is Reverse Flash, because he even mentions that Batman doesn't have the grit to go through with the plans that he has, basically assuming that in the future Batman attempted to do something similar but failed, mainly because he wasn't willing to do the things that someone as evil as Reverse Flash is willing to do. So there's no telling. Though I'm extremely confident that it is Reverse Flash. And the other person who it could potentially be is Batman from Batman Beyond, though there'd have to be a lot of reaching done to bring Batman from Batman Beyond to the current universe. That means he'd have to have come back from the future, because he did mention Bruce being old. So it could be him, but the only way I could see him potentially returning is if he was brought back by somebody specifically. Maybe he was brought back by Reverse Flash. There's no telling who brought him back. Other than that, I don't see any other possibility on how he could have come back on his own. So I'd like to throw that possibility out of the window. And other than that, I don't think I got much else to talk about. But who do you guys think it is? Because I'm confident in Reverse Flash. All the evidence I've seen so far shows that, because none of the Robins seem to have any appearance anywhere else. In fact, Batman seemed to be attempting to recruit Harley for the position as the new Robin. There's no telling. And he was able to just snatch Batman's cowl right off.
Cause everybody else might be afraid of you out here, boy, but I ain't fucking afraid of you. I'm gonna let you. What, boy? I'll snatch your forehead the fuck off.
Like, not most people have the strength to just rip it off like that without having some sort of superpowers or some sort of physical enhancement. But this has been your boy Apollo, and if you like this video and feel like I deserve it, feel free to like this video, because likes actually help a channel grow. And if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. I upload at least once every week and a half, most of the time. Like I said, this has been Apollo, and I'm out.